TalkinRonpa. That's right. It's TalkinRonpa again. I'm RJ Waters too.
And I'm Blindcat.
We're back again to discuss the goings on in Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Award to the wise. If you haven't played Danganronpa 1 and 2,
Don't watch this.
and if you haven't played up to where we have in Danganronpa V3, which today is the end of the investigation for Chapter 3.
Don't watch this.
Also, don't watch this.
Also, if you're afraid of any spooky going on, bad rapport, ghost, the dark, don't watch this.
This is our Halloween special, as it turns out. I don't know when this will actually get posted, but it is Halloween today, so I'm extra.
Next year, Halloween.
I'm extra spooked to talk about this ghost trial today.
You still believe there was 3 murders?
I did for like entirely 4 seconds, and then Kokichi popped up, and I yelled aloud in my room to nobody, "Fucking Kokichi!"
That's real dedication, though. He was actually bleeding. He was actually bleeding. He just lied down the hallway waiting for you to come out for a prank.
It's a lie.
Such professionalism as an entertainer.
Such behavior fit for a supreme leader. And not just the ultimate liar.
You gotta keep your minions on their toes.
That's also a lie. So, who was on the student council?
There was Angie, Gonta, Tanko, Himiko, Kibo, and Smoogie.
Okay, so this note that I made, I thought I was being a clever boy. When Angie was locked in the Ultimate Artist Lab, the victim, first victim, Angie Yanaga, was locked in the Ultimate Artist Lab. She said it was told that she would only let people in who were on the student council. So I thought maybe Kibo had recorded somebody's voice to get let in. But it turns out he's on the student council, so he wouldn't need to do that. Cross that off.
He recorded his own voice.
And then you had no more power left to actually. So what do you think about these wax dolls?
I think they're pretty well made.
I'm impressed. I think she's the ultimate artist now. Okay.
Alright, case closed.
Or Atuo was, rather.
Yeah, it's pretty believable. That's every single,
all the mystery solved.
Yeah,
let's vote for the culprit. This is the first chapter, the first mystery, where I don't even have, like, a good notion of how everything went down.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 was like, I knew exactly what happened. In Chapter 2, I knew pretty much what happened. This time, I know some things that happened.
I have no idea why I thought because I knew the floorboards had to be relevant in this case. I had no idea why I thought the floorboards from one section of the room would be relevant to the locked room. I should have just seen it coming that the second murder was happening there.
Mm-hmm.
I even mentioned that it was going to, but...
Yeah, I was surprised that the murder didn't take place in one of those 3 identical rooms, because why would there be 3 identical rooms if not for that?
Kind of makes sense the second murder would happen there.
Mm-hmm.
In retrospect.
Even Monokuma points out it's the first time that, or it's surprising, or is it the Monocubs to point out it's surprising that you would never expect a murder during the investigation. Oh, which brings me to a further point. Monokuma was never actually bald. It was he just disappeared.
I went on vacation. The trick is you actually don't ask, you don't tell anybody when you just leave.
Which explains we had a problem last time, where Monokuma showed up in the middle of the night to explain the love key.
And he wasn't bald.
Yeah.
He took time out of his vacation just for us.
Yeah, so no plot holes here. He actually wrapped that up. I was surprised. And Monodam, I don't know if he's going to be the victim now. I don't know if he's going to kill somebody again. He's
just so broken up about this.
Up until now.
No.
Oh. So he's back to like his Chapter 1 personality. I don't know, because I expected Monokuma to kill him up until this point. Now I don't know what he's going to do.
The temp's gonna join the Mono Cubs.
We're gonna get a transfer cub from beyond the grave?
No, the temp.
Oh.
The balding temp.
Who's controlling this balding temp?
He was such a nice guy. He even let us to the computer room.
Didn't he get paid?
Yeah, he got paid by Mono, Kuma.
If that doesn't come up like as part of the canon, I'm gonna be mad. I won't be mad. What do you think of those wax dolls as they pertain to the murder?
Oh, there was actually a reason why they were suspended for sure.
Do you know what that is yet?
No!
Well, Miyu says that they're a diversion. If they're completely irrelevant to the murder.
I do not believe that's true.
But we don't have a locked room mystery anymore, right?
Right, because the killer had a way out.
The floorboards.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because the floorboards didn't look disturbed in Angie's side. And with the gold leaf on the latch, I'm assuming that's just how they got out and relocked the door.
But how did they relock the door from the outside?
With the katana, I suppose.
Now walk me through how that happened.
So Kaede's corpse is floating near where the door was.
Mm-hmm.
And so the katana was near the latch.
I'm with you so far. Even it's pointing the opposite direction. I'm with you so far.
It would spin around because it was also kind of taped to Angie's forehead hair. And when the killer closed the door, Kaede's body would have swung around, flipped the latch, and fling Angie's corpse into the center and lacerate her head, and the tape would fall under her body. Yeah.
Interesting theory. I had something similar.
Very clear.
I got
exactly what happened.
I got as far as one of these, or all of these, bodies are used as a pendulum for some reason.
Knocking into each other.
Because you can set the pendulum in motion and then leave.
The problem is they're tied by both feet.
So they'll only be able to swing at a 90-degree angle. They have to go back and forth only when they're facing. So that blood on the sword, you think it's Angie's?
Yeah, blood on the sword's Angie's.
What's the purpose of stabbing the doll?
I think it was to get the katana there. I really do think it has something to do with relocking the door.
Okay, so the gold leaf wasn't on the culprit's hands and then touched the door?
No, I think it was from the katana's hilt.
Somehow. Okay.
It flakes off really easily.
Yeah, I like that. Oh.
I don't understand how there was a laceration on Angie's head.
That's the one thing, when I realized I smacked my own forehead, I was like, oh, of course, that's what happened. But I'll get to that later. I confirmed this, or rather, I crossed off suspicion I had earlier on. Ebo is confirmed for robot. He is indeed officially actually a robot.
You thought he wasn't? He was possibly not a robot?
Yeah, that was one of my very first episode suspicions, was maybe he wasn't.
Didn't you see Miyu perform maintenance on him?
Yeah, but it could be an exoskeleton.
He could just be a really tiny person inside.
Now that his eyes have lit up like light bulbs, I'm convinced he's a robot. So once the investigation got underway and the talk of the seance started happening, when he was describing the caged dog child, is that the name is?
The caged child?
The caged child. There's a dog in there somewhere.
From the caged dog village.
Okay. The caged child seance. I was like, oh, Brecchio's gonna die now? But then when I
thought he was going to be the spirit medium.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the spirit medium was not the one put in the cage. And then, I believe Korekiyo is the one that volunteers Himiko to go under. For Himiko.
Yes.
Okay. And then I was like, oh, I'm right! Angie and Himiko are gonna die this chapter. Then fucking Tanko had to interrupt. Ruined my betting pool. And her last line, before she shuts up, during the
death flag?
During the incantation, I'll see you later! I think we both had Tanko as part of the final 6.
I don't believe I did.
I did. I was wrong. Apparently Himiko's not going to die.
Well, not yet.
Such a pain. Die. Unless Himiko's the culprit this time, in which case she will die. She's the one that chose the middle room for the seance.
She was the one who chose the middle room for the seance because things go better like that.
Yeah.
This murder requires some setup.
Yeah. So, well, here's the thing. We didn't get to investigate the underfloor of the other two rooms, but judging by that...
Kokichi saw something, at least.
Judging by the way Kokichi fell through the floorboard in the right room, I'm guessing they're all set up the same way. Because the killer didn't know which room the seance would take place.
Yeah, there was also a cross piece cut off in the other room. That's how he fell through one of the floorboards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Angie fell through one of the floorboards, of course! Oh, wait a minute. Oh, God.
You realize the same thing I did.
That's why Kokichi has to have his forehead cut up.
You realize the same thing I did.
Yeah.
The reason that Angie has dried blood under tape on her forehead because she hurt herself while setting up the seance murder and then taped it to close the wound. She was the one that set up the seance murder, but somebody else discovered it and either killed her, prevent it, but then they would have had to gone on and done it themselves anyway.
I'm assuming they just wanted to say they need the seance to fail so that Angie couldn't come back and
spill the
point
beans.
the finger at them. Yeah.
That's why I think the seance failed.
So it has to be someone who believes in the occult.
Yeah.
Someone who's afraid of the occult.
In the middle room, when we go under the floorboards, we see the dried blood. You remember that?
Yeah, it was flipped.
Yeah, we see Tanko's blood, and we see Angie's blood. When I first saw it, I thought that Angie had used it to mark where, the
stone was gonna be?
Yeah, like where she needed to cut the boards to commit the murder. So she just trickled some blood down there. But then I thought, why didn't she use paint? Something. It's because she hurt herself after setting it up. She had access to, because her ultimate lab is right next to Korekio's. She had access to the book, the writing in it.
She also had access to paint. Could just be pink paint.
Oh, you're right. Dried pink paint. So I think she took that book, and Korekio doesn't check to look for it because he knows by heart. She was locked in the Ultimate Artist lab reading that book. I want to say when we went to her lab the night before the murder, it took some time for her to open up, as if she was hiding something.
Oh, she responded immediately when Tanko called.
Was it immediately?
Yeah.
She could have hid it when she heard other voices. So there was one guy, I can't help myself. When we start the investigation, I just happen to notice when people aren't being helpful. The people who are being helpful usually didn't commit the murder. There was one... Spooky? Maybe it was a ghost. Maybe that's just an anime reference. There was one guy who was of no help at all.
I don't know. He couldn't help himself.
So that's how he got out of not seeming helpful. By pretending to be so scared. I'm not convinced that... I am convinced that Kaito is the culprit. Aren't you?
From a gameplay perspective, it could just be delaying his murder. Just so that you can continue to have only one partner at a time.
Oh, because now we have Maki?
Yeah. You can't have two partners going at the same time following you around, so maybe this was just Kaito's chapter to not be useful, so you could have Maki instead.
Uh-huh. That's a way to bridge the gap. Or do you not think he's the culprit?
I don't think he's the culprit. I earnestly do not think he's the culprit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna wait to ask you who you think it is, because I'm really caught off guard by that. So every time something come up where Kaito could have been useful, he just started to get really scared of the occult, and then got punched by Maki, and disappeared again. He disappeared entirely, didn't say where he was going during the seance.
Somewhere with a lot of light. You know, Monokuma obviously set up that entire floor just so that he couldn't aid in the investigation.
But I think he was the culprit, but I don't think that he's earnestly afraid of the occult. I think he had another motive for stopping
What, you think the monopad could ever have false information, like telling you that someone's a caregiver?
That did update once you found out the truth. I think he had a reason to want those four to stay dead, like a self-serving reason that he didn't want Rantaro to come back from the dead.
Rantaro was a better astronaut than him.
Maybe he's the ultimate astronaut and Kaito's not. When we read that book...
Kaito's the ultimate idiot. Oh no!
Oh no! Call me. We read that book.
Yeah, come on, Gonta. I would like you to at least be Kaito level idiot instead of super idiot.
The Necronomicon. I don't understand why Angie made the four effigies when the book clearly says it's a one-use thing and you have to burn the book to use
Angie
it.
did say that she doesn't actually make the thing. She goes into sort of a trance when she's making thing, and I guess it overtook and she just kept doing effigies because...
Oh, no. That was explaining why they were so good.
Well, no, I mean, like, she couldn't stop after making one.
No, she did claim before she made them that she was going to bring them all back.
I really do not remember that.
I do, and I don't think she intended to. I think she understands that the seance only works for one, so I don't know from like a murderer's perspective why she needed to make four. What the point of that was for her plan. Maybe one of them is hiding evidence inside and we have to melt it.
Because it's very clear that there's no way you can bring back more than one since there's only one Necronomicon.
So let's jump into the second murder.
Yeah.
Wait, let's who do you think did the first murder?
Same person who did the second murder. I'm going to go ahead and say it's the same person.
Oh, well, I say that too, but I say it's Kaito.
I say it's Tsumugi because she's been really unhelpful. Like, I mean, throughout the entire game.
She's Kaito level idiot. If we're just going on past games and how they follow their themes, Chapter 3 is the case of the really bad motive and the really stupid murderer.
Tsumugi's motive was, this was just like in one of my animes. Don't know, maybe she was cosplaying as some character and the character compelled her to do it because that's what the character would do or something.
I think she's been too plain Jane to commit a murder yet.
So, obviously what happened was, sure, you can't see in the dark, but Tsumugi was cosplaying as one of the other students,
Shiny.
and her cosplocks lit up the dark underside of the floorboards. And
oh, she wasn't cosplaying as Shining Justice? Why do you think that seance failed?
I can't believe Korekyu has so much difficulty with figuring out how that seance failed.
Well, I understand why you think it failed, and I don't think that's the problem. No, why do you actually think it failed?
Because the murder happened in the middle of the seance, so there was no longer a spirit medium?
I don't think that mattered. Korekyu.
Really?
I think Korekyu would understand that. I think it should have gone off anyway. As long as there was a vessel for the spirit to go into, I think it should have been fine. I think, well, my initial reason before we got the body uncovered, I thought somebody was hiding inside that dog statue and stabbed straight down. Before we got to see the bottom of the sheet that had blood on it but no puncture wound, I thought somebody was stuffed up inside the dog statue and stabbed straight down. Well, because that would mean there's a sixth person in the room, and the seance would fail.
So you think the seance failed was because someone was underneath the floorboards then?
Yeah. When they lifted up that dog statue, they were complaining about how heavy it was, but Korekyu states that it's only 175 pounds. That's why I was suspicious about it. I thought, oh, maybe Kaito's in there. Turns out not to be the case.
I just thought of something. When you were in the first room investigating, the pairs that were supposed to pair up, no one really enforced that rule this time around. Since 5 left for the seance room, Kaito went off on his own. In the room where you were investigating, you had you and Maki, Gonta, Miyu, and Tsumugi as a pair of 3. Or a group of 3 in there.
Wouldn't that be 4?
Huh?
Maki, Gonta, Miyu,
no, you and Maki.
yourself?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Because Maki stayed behind, didn't she? No, but then she left with you for the
Oh, you mean
Correcio's room.
after we walked away?
Yeah.
There were only 2 people in
Yeah,
there.
so there was 2. So even if one of them left, there'd be 2 left to watch the body.
Right. I don't think Samugi, Gonta, and Miu left that room. Somebody had, because that would give an airtight alibi for the second murder, at least, for those 3. They were very clever about it this time, that Monokuma showed up and said that the second murder is completely irrelevant to who we're finding out as the culprit. Have to be the same one. You don't have to find the second one.
In
Just
fact,
worry about
it's just
Angie's
it
killer.
counts as a waste of a murder.
Waste of a kill and a waste of a life.
Yep, waste of a victim.
So that means that, well, there had to be a reason to commit a second murder. The first game and the second game, those reasons were because they didn't care about life, and they just the first one, the second murder was, the second murder in the first game was to kill your ally, your accomplice.
Because you want to get out.
Right. And the second game is because they wanted ultimate despair. So they chose 2 victims. Why? Especially given that if it's the same person, wasted kill. And if it's not the same culprit, it doesn't count. Why did Tenko get killed?
It's because someone believed in the seance. They didn't want Angie fingering him.
Wouldn't it have been enough just to be a 6th person in that room?
Yeah, I don't think being underneath the floorboards counts as being in the room.
Well, here's the thing. When Kaito goes back into the room and sees the victim, he's not specifically surprised that there's a victim. He's specifically surprised that it's Tenko. Like, Tenko? Are you serious? So I don't know who he was expecting to kill.
Suichi.
Maybe he assumed, like me, that Korekio would be under the thing. I'm not sure what the impact is on destroying the salt circle.
I don't think there is one at this point.
It's part of my evidence bullets.
Is it?
Yeah. Destroyed magic circle is one of the evidence bullets.
No, magic circle Korekio drew.
It gets destroyed right after the seance fails because Himiko runs straight to the center.
Mm-hmm.
And then
everyone goes in for the investigation as well.
Yeah, that's when it gets completely destroyed. And that's acted. That part is where you get the evidence bullet. So there's some reason that we can no longer see the salt. Important. Also, I think Kibo's eyelight is important.
Kibo!
Because the killer had to have a light source under the floorboards.
Maybe it's Miyu, and it shows off her capabilities to make a flashlight.
They did note that the tarp used was a light blocking cloth.
So what do you think about this Kibo hearing voices that everyone got to brush past?
What?
Kibo hearing voices?
When did this happen?
Right before we went into the elevator. Did you not talk to everybody?
I don't recall this. I did click on everybody.
Okay, it was about how ironic that Kibo is such a fervent believer in Atua.
Hmm.
Despite the fact that he's a robot. And
Right.
Kibo mentions even before Atua, he was already hearing voices.
Oh, the voice of God.
Tell him what to do when he feels lost.
Oh, I do remember that now.
Yeah. And everyone just kind of brushed past it.
So is he getting what's that? Manchurian Candidate?
I don't know what that means.
Where he's getting fed commands. He doesn't realize that he's gonna do something.
Yeah, maybe.
Is he the one riding Horsey? The rock? I don't remember if we delve deep enough into that. The horse A, and then adding more letters onto it.
It still doesn't look like anything right now.
I meant more like who's doing it and why.
I think it's whatever invisible thing that Gonta is seeing.
Oh, the thing he keeps mistaking for bugs?
Yeah.
And Kibo might be hearing voices from?
Well, Kibo says he's been hearing him for a long time. I assume that's before he woke up.
Okay, so probably something the creator built into him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it is, like, 17th student hiding or Rontaro's not dead, why would he choose, like, write one letter per line and go back to add more later?
Because he ran out of ink.
But he would have at least started. If he got interrupted by Monokuma or something, that would make sense to like get cut off at the end of a line. He wouldn't write in this order. So it's the biggest mystery for me by far is what's going on with Horsey. So Tanko was stabbed with that sickle that was under the the floorboard.
Well, that sickle did come from the Ultimate Assassin's room.
Suspicious. So the people that we know didn't do it were the 5 in the room, right?
Right.
We can guarantee because they were all singing, they couldn't have possibly gone under the floorboard, killed while singing. Just
Smoogie, Miyu, and Gonta allegedly were together.
As far as we know, we haven't even got testimony from them.
Yeah.
They were all still in the Ultimate Artist Lab, along with Maki.
Kibo, no, Maki was not in the Ultimate Artist Lab.
That's where she went to go when we went to the seance.
Oh, no, she went with us to Korekio's. Oh, no, yeah, that's right, she went back to go investigate.
Yeah.
Right. So Kibo and Kaito are the only ones missing.
Really? Only them? We have so many people dead.
Oh, and Kokichi.
Kokichi's, like, permanently innocent.
No, Kokichi was in the seance room, too.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
So he is actually innocent, for real.
Yeah.
Korekio, we know, didn't do it, because he wanted the seance more than anything.
Also, he's so flabbergasted.
So perplexed. How did it not work? So, if 6th person does not count people under the floorboard, why did it fail? And not assuming
because your spirit medium died in the middle.
Assuming that doesn't actually matter.
I think Korekio is just so shocked he can't realize the really obvious reason that your spirit medium died in the middle.
What about the light source? How did Kibo get underneath Tanko without using a light source?
How did Kibo get underneath Tanko without using a light source?
Yeah, because he's not allowed to turn his lights on until he gets underneath the cloth that blocks the light.
Well, he could have entered from any room.
Oh, wait, I think the
Remember there was a rotting partitions?
In all 3. No, I think the floorboards are supposed to be so tight together you can't see light shining underneath. That's why.
Oh, you mean from under... Oh, you mean
yeah.
Until he couldn't get underneath the cloth.
Right.
Right, no, the floorboards are very tight together, so...
I realize now why the cloth is lightproof is because the floorboard opened up. Right. It would have shined if it wasn't lightproof. Okay. So did Tanko not react to the floorboard popping up underneath her?
Probably not. She probably thought it was some kind of supernatural thing with the seance.
And the sickle reached up and stabbed her from behind the neck, splattered blood up cage into the cloth. Yeah, so I pretty much understand everything except the why of this case, and that includes why they hung the wax figures, unless it's just as simple as they managed to get a pendulum to knock the sword into the sliding lock.
It was so that Kai's one could spin, flip the latch.
Use it as a handle?
Yeah, you can. They're tied by both feet, but you can twist them, and then they would spin around.
Oh, I see. Was she really that close that sword would knock? Was she?
It's a long katana. Remember, that was a really big point. Was it's a long katana.
I thought
didn't have anything like that in the Ultimate Assassin lab.
Okay, I like it. That's just stupid enough to be the real thing. But you think this was done by Samugi?
Sure.
Do you actually think it was done by Samugi?
I'm rooting for her doing something.
I don't think it's this time. I think next time Gonta's gonna be killed. And it's gonna be by...
A cosplay anime character.
I think Gonta has to get killed by a woman, right? That's the only one that could manage it.
I think Gonta could fall over and die himself as suicide.
Choke on a bug or something. And
Gonta could die to breaking the rules, and we actually just lose him to breaking the rules. That's never happened before.
Yeah. Oh. Bukuro.
Which resulted in their actual death, not
Bukuro.
Right.
So who's your prediction for Mono Cub that's gonna die? Is it Monodam's turn, or is he gonna kill again?
How about Monophony?
Yeah, I think if Monodam's gonna kill, he's gonna kill Monophony. But
So much puke.
I'm not writing out that somebody kills Monodam. You know what? I'm locking it in. Somebody's killing Monodam. Probably Monokuma.
Monodam shows up to the next chapter balding. Paint chipping off.
His personality is the exact same. Well, I'm excited to see all play out.
I'm excited to be completely correct.
What an assassination punishment sequence we're gonna see for the ultimate cosplayer this time. Thanks for bearing with us.
What would that even be?
It's gonna be a treasure trove of anime references.
So long.
Farewell. Don't buy an R anymore.